I am on day 6 of water fasting with OMAD. I know I disappeared for just a little bit, like a hot second off of YouTube with my daily vlogs, and that's because I've been really trying to narrow this in for myself, my routine and everything, and I realized some major mistakes that I was making within my fasting that has been making an impact on the results that I've been getting. And so I'm going to share with you today the results that I have got over the last 5 days, really, because this morning I weighed myself the morning of day 6, so there was really the first 5-day results of my OMAD, my water fast. Right now it is 12:44 p.m., 20 hours fasted. Okay, up to this point I've only had water and black coffee this morning. I had 1 cup of black coffee. I've been doing some research, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you've seen the research that I've been putting up there all about caffeine, coffee, and fasting, and how you can still have steady glucose, which I have a continuous glucose monitor so I can see it on my monitor. You can still have steady glucose while you are fasted and consume coffee. However, if you consume coffee or caffeine, there has been some evidence that your body is releasing insulin when this happens, and that's where sometimes we can even see a drop in blood glucose because your body's releasing insulin and it is moving some of that glucose out of your system. And so after doing some of this research and finding out all of this crazy information about caffeine, I decided to cut back my caffeine intake from drinking that, you know, whatever, black coffee all throughout the day. And if you've been following me for a while, you know my journey. I went from like fat coffees to then black coffee to now I'm trying to cut back to like 1 caffeinated drink per day. Now, the other thing that I'm implementing within this window, because what I'm doing is a minimum, every single day, a minimum of 16 straight hours of water only. And what water only fasting means is water only. So only water. I'm only consuming water during that time. I'm not adding anything to my water. I'm not adding any lemon. I'm not adding anything. I'm just doing water, plain water. Okay, so the goal for me is to reduce the amount of insulin that my body is producing, because I found that I am overproducing insulin for no reason, and I have insulin resistance. I'm healing my insulin resistance, and by doing this OMAD fasting, my goal is to trigger the autophagy, which is anti-aging. My goal is to access my stored fat for fuel. And so I have literally been shifted around my entire schedule of what I do in a day, my entire routine, based on this goal. First step is a minimum of 16 hours per day of just a water fast. So from the time I have my last meal at the end of the day or in the middle of the day, from then on, the moment I switch back to just water, that's the start of my water fast. I go all night long and then into the morning, and that's water. Next goal, a minimum of 2 hours from the time I wake up before I have my cup of coffee or anything that has caffeine. So let's say I wake up and my 16 hours has gone past already and I can go for some black coffee. I'm gonna still wait 2 hours because, again, we're trying to focus on burning fat for fuel, and I don't want to cause an insulin response first thing in the morning when I first wake up. So I've been having my black coffee, like 1 cup, that's it, 1 cup. I went 1 day without it completely, and I had the worst headache at night. And guys, I'm someone who's gone literally 20 years. I don't think I've gone a day without having caffeine. So this was a major shift for me, and I know when you get off caffeine, it can cause withdrawal symptoms and all of that. And this was definitely headache withdrawal symptom on one of my days. So I went back to just 1 cup a day. My goal eventually is to totally wean myself off of it, but 1 cup is not going to kill me. It'll be perfectly fine. I'm going to still get the great results, and I've gotten great results. That's what I'm doing, okay? So 16 hours water fast only. Some days I go 20 hours. Some days I go 25 hours of just water only. And then I can move into the clean fasted stage. And the clean fasted stage is just that. Black coffee, water, no sweeteners, okay? No sweeteners. That is the key ingredient to this whole thing, is no sweeteners during these water fast or clean fast stage. And then I do an assisted fast, which is typically right before I'm gonna break my fast. I'll go into like an assisted fast, and that's when I'm having my nat ketones, that's when I'm having my Mitoplex electrolytes. These things have sweeteners in them, the keto friendly sweeteners like erythritol or allulose or stevia, that sort of thing. I could also make up a fat latte at this time if I wanted to, maybe push my meal, my OMAD meal even later that night if I wanted to do that. That's what I've been doing, okay? So in that fat latte, I'm trying to kind of cut the sweeteners out of the fat latte though, so even though it's in an assisted window fast, and technically I could do the keto-friendly sweeteners in there, I've been trying to just do MCT 143 and butter within that time, okay? So I've just been trying to, with the decaf coffee, blend that up, and that really is very satiating, and that really does prolong things so that I can actually have my OMAD meal later on. So this was kind of how I've like stepped up to the plate of doing this. Day one of my OMAD water fast, I went 18 hours fasted, and then I had 5 hours of an assisted fast. So at 12:45 I had keto cream, which is also okay to be using within my fasted window. It's fast mimicking. It gives you all of these benefits while you are fasting to kind of help you get into the routine of cutting down your fasted windows. So keto cream plus coffee plus butter. I did a workout on this day, so in the morning, and also I was experimenting with apple cider vinegar in my water while I was in my water fast. It was terrible. I had horrible acid reflux. So no, I decided I'm cutting that out completely. I'm better off just doing plain old water in that time. The next thing that I'm integrating here is Signal OS AM and PM. So Signal OS AM, PM, they're pills. What they are their appetite control, but they are very high B vitamins, and they are DNA repair. So they help your body actually repair DNA to focus on the autophagy. So that's what I've been implementing there, and I can consume that within my water fasted window. It's a pill, take it in the morning, it gives me those B vitamins first thing. I can consume it fasted, it doesn't upset my stomach or anything, so that's what I've been doing. And then I had decaf, nat, and Mitoplex electrolytes within that 5 hour assisted window. And then I had 1 hour eating in my OMAD, and I had low carb tacos with grass-fed beef with a low carb wrap. I use specific ones that don't spike my blood glucose, and so that was great. But the thing is, you can check out my glucose here. Okay, so check out my glucose and what it did on day one. It was going up and down like crazy, but you can see after I consumed something, my glucose was dropping, and that means I am releasing insulin. Whenever your glucose drops, even if you don't have a spike up, your body it's telling your body to release the insulin to remove the glucose out of your blood, okay? So we want to minimize the amount of insulin we have. So let's get into day two. So on day two of my OMAD water fast, I did 16 hours of water only, and then I switched over to 6 hours of the clean fast. Remember, the clean fast, that is just black coffee, no sweeteners, and water. I had 2 hours where it was an assisted fast where I consumed my ketones and anything else within that assisted fasted window, and then I had my OMAD meal. And here is a breakdown of the entire day. I had my Signal OS when I first woke up. I had black coffee at 10 a.m. I had 1 cup of coffee, okay? So I wasn't drinking coffee the entire 6 hours. I think that's really important for you to understand. I just had 1 cup of coffee and then basically went back to a water fast for the rest of the time. And then when I hit my assisted fast for 2 hours, I made a fat latte with MCT 143, 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter, and decaf coffee. I also, before that, I did a workout, 30-minute workout in my pool. I've been doing like a bunch of like strength training workouts in my pool. That's been really fun, and I've enjoyed that. Within that assisted fast segment of my window, I had some decaf nat ketones, Mitoplex electrolytes, and then the other thing is I've been adding in apple cider vinegar tablets before my meals, and this helps with digestion. This helps boost fat burning, and I really like these tablets. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check these out. And I made some homemade wings and some clean ranch, so This ranch is incredible. It's so good. I posted the recipe in my Instagram reels, so if you want the recipe for this, go check that out. It's really simple, really easy. Actually, I think I posted it in my YouTube reels here too, but in Instagram, you really do get my recipes first before anything else. The next thing I've been integrating in here is vitamin D3 and K2. I've been taking that with my meal, my OMAD meal, and then also I'm adding in a little bit later, you'll see some magnesium to that. And then my Signal OS PM I take before bed, helps with sleep, helps with the cell turnover, helps with the autophagy, the skin tightening, and all of that. So my OMAD meal on this day was 1 hour eating window. So let's skip ahead then to day 4. I had water only for 21 hours, and then I did an assisted fast for an hour and a half where I had my nat ketones and I did my workout. I had decaf nat ketones on this day. This was actually the day that I completely cut caffeine out altogether, and that was a mistake. I really should just stick to 1 caffeinated drink a day until I'm over this hump of my caffeine addiction. So and my eating window was 1 hour. I had my vitamins, and you can see what my blood glucose was doing on this day. And let me just say this, look, my blood glucose appears high, right? It's in the hundreds, 90s, and this is while fasted. And I have a really solid theory on this because I've been doing some research into it to figure out why this is. And the reason I believe this is because my body is used to releasing insulin all throughout the day. Because prior to this, I had been drinking drinks all day long that have some sort of sweetener in them, or they could be 0 calories, it doesn't matter, but there might be sweetener in there. And I have been triggering that insulin to be released all day long, or coffee all day. Something with some sort of flavor I was drinking all the time. I rarely just drank water. Rarely. And this is exactly why I needed this reset, okay? So literally I am doing everything the same that I was doing before, except I'm shifting my windows around that I'm consuming things. And when I'm in my assisted fasted window, instead of just slowly sipping on those beverages that have sweeteners in them, I'm drinking them within 30 minutes. So if I'm having a fat latte and if it has sweeteners in it, I'm going to have that within 30 minutes. If it doesn't have sweeteners in it, I have a little bit more flexibility and I can actually drink it a little bit slower. But the goal is to minimize the insulin so that we trigger that fat, access to our fat stores, so we start burning the fat for fuel. And also, if I'm drinking my ketones, I'm drinking it within 30 minutes. And then I'm getting all the benefits from my ketones, I'm getting all of the B vitamins, I'm getting all of the gut health benefits, I am getting the energy, the focus and the mental clarity and all of that stuff that we love about the ketones. So I think, this is my hypothesis, because my insulin levels were kind of high there for a little while I was fasted, I think that my body, once I stopped producing insulin around the clock all the time, all of a sudden now my blood glucose level just kind of leveled out around the 90s, still in a healthy range. It was fine. Sometimes it was in the hundreds, but I wasn't too worried about it. And I do believe this is the case because I do think I have insulin resistance. And then I could see if I would consume something, my glucose levels would drop because it would literally shuttle the glucose out of my blood into the stores. What you want to do is you want to burn up your glucose and your glycogen. So your muscles and your liver can store up to 2,000 calories of glycogen for use as fuel. If you do not use that glycogen and you continue to eat food that contains carbs, sugar, whatever, it's going to store that excess glycogen past the 2,000 calories that it can store in the liver and the muscles as body fat, okay? Now, if you use all the glycogen that's in your liver and in your muscles, what's going to happen is your body's going to start using protein in gluconeogenesis, okay? And this is not protein from muscle. This is protein from damaged cells that are around your system. That we're talking loose skin that your body does not need anymore. It's going to start recycling those cells. This is where we see the autophagy, and this is where you start getting that skin tightening. This is where you start losing the loose skin. Your body's actually going to do the gluconeogenesis, use those extra proteins that are in your body, like I said, the loose skin, anti-aging, all of that, and it's going to then regulate your blood glucose level. And then this is also going to trigger your brain to say, okay, we got to start using some fat for fuel. There's no calories coming in, it's just water. We need to get some fuel. So we're going to access the stored fat. There's no insulin in our system right now. So we're going to open up the doors, access the stored fat, use the stored fat for fuel, convert it to ketones, use it as fuel for the brain, and we're going to maintain healthy glucose levels from the autophagy and the gluconeogenesis that's going on with the proteins in our body. So this is all good stuff going on. So for a little while I did see a little bit of an increase in that, but I'm not worried about it. And it actually came down, which I suspected to be the case. So I'm actually seeing my glucose back in the 80s with my fasting. Day 5, I had 19 hours and 20 minutes of water only, water fast. Then I had 6 hours of a clean fast with 1 hour OMAD. So I had my 1 cup of coffee right around 10 a.m. I had my Signal OS first thing in the morning, 7 a.m. And I had water up to that point, and then I had water after that cup of coffee all the way to my OMAD meal. I had my apple cider vinegar capsules before I had my meal, and my 1 hour OMAD meal was at 4:30 p.m. and I had a Caesar salad, and I was gonna have 8 wings with ranch, but I could only eat 4. Like, I was so not hungry. And this is the first time ever that I've just not at all had an appetite, and that's awesome. Like, I feel so great. I have so much energy. I have so much focus. I have so much mental clarity now by day 5 of this. A few hours later, this was 3 hours after that, I actually went then into my assisted fast, which I had the decaf nat ketones, which they do help you sleep. They help with sleep. They help you restore your body, and they help you with the focus and all of that, plus the Mitoplex electrolytes, which are really important to have. And then I also had my vitamin D3 K2 and Signal OS PM capsules. I have this continuous glucose monitor. If you're wondering which one I have, I'll put the link right here so you can check this out. There's no longer a wait list on these, so anyone can grab them at any time, and I personally love it. Then I woke up on day 6, which is today, and I lost 5 pounds so far. I feel great. And just to kind of give you guys a breakdown of the parameters that I was just kind of following. So some days I was doing much higher, longer water fast, and that was just because I felt like it. Like, I used to hate just water, but it's so good now. I love it. And I feel really good. The other thing I noticed, so I was doing 16 hours, right? Minimum, but I've been going like 20. I've been going longer than that. Some days 25, right? Clean fast anytime after the 16 hours, and then assisted fast anytime after the 18 hours. Now, if you're brand new to fasting, if you've never done fasting before, I would actually suggest, and this is what I did to lose 60 pounds within about 5 months, I did an assisted fast for the entire time that I was fasted. Okay, it was just until I lost that weight and then I hit a stall. That's when I should have started shifting around my window and started implementing a little bit longer of a water fast within that time. And also the biggest mistake I made there was I was just drinking those sweetened beverages all throughout the day, and I should not have been doing that. Okay, so I should have just been drinking it, like if I had nat ketones, I should have drank them within 30 minutes and then gone with just water until whatever is coming next. So if you're brand new into this, you can utilize the assisted fasting stage to help break you into it and help your body adjust to fasting. So it's not torture, it's not painful for you, it's easy for you. Like, as of right now, this is so easy for me because I've been doing assisted fasting for so long. My body is totally retrained on ghrelin. I don't release the hunger hormone throughout the day anymore when I am fasted because I had gone to this point of training myself. So when you utilize products like the nat ketones, like the fat coffees and that sort of thing within that assisted fasted state, you can do that, and then you can have 1, 2, or 3 meals, and then eventually you're gonna want to kind of like tighten up your window, your assisted fasted window, so it gets shorter, and extend your water fasted time. Okay, so if you're someone who maybe has been doing an assisted fast for a while and you're like, okay, I need to shift things around, I need to break through a plateau, I need to make some changes, what you need to do is you need to start extending that water fasted window period and start minimizing the assisted fasted window and bring in maybe something like OMAD. I like OMAD because I don't think about food at all. like at all. And I like that. And like I feel like it helps break up like addictions with food, because like I haven't felt like the urge to eat, you know what I mean? It's normally right before, in the little window right before then, I'm gonna go break my fast. That's typically when I get in all of those supplements that boost and add to the nutrition that I prefer and I like. It's a tool within my lifestyle, and it's helping me do this in a very healthy way where I'm still getting the B vitamins, the micronutrients, and all of those things, because these ketones are not just ketones. They're loaded up with other things that help you, especially if you're going long durations of fasting. And so then I do my OMAD meal within 1 to 4 hours, a window of 1 to 4 hours. It's been about 1 hour or 30 minutes, because it doesn't take long to eat a meal. It really does not. Back when I used to do OMAD, I would do like an appetizer and a meal and then whatever later within 4 hours, which you can do. But with this strategy of the water fasting, I have absolutely no desire. It's like, give me the food and get it out and let's go. Which is so crazy. So the other thing is that I've noticed is now my flavor sensitivity is way different. When I eat something salty, it tastes really, really salty to me now. It was never like that before, okay? Really, really salty. Anything that has a sweetness in it, it tastes really sweet to me. Everything, it's like amplified. It's like flavors are amplified. That's one of the reasons why I could only eat 4 of those wings. They tasted very, very salty to me. I was like, I don't want to eat this. Like, I ate my big bowl of salad. That was great, but those wings were too salty. And so this is a new experience for me. I'm not used to my taste buds being so hyper. And even when I drink water, it has a taste now. Whereas it never used to have a taste. Like, there's a flavor to it. It's so weird. So that's another thing that I've noticed. And then I'm gonna keep going with this because I feel so freaking amazing and I can't wait. I'm gonna do 30 days, okay? So I'm gonna do 30 days of this at a minimum. One question that you guys were asking me in Instagram was, am I still drinking alcohol while doing this? I can, if I want, within my eating window. If I wanna have a glass of wine with my meal, that's totally cool. I can do that. I'm doing low carb, high fat within my meal. I know some people do OMAD and they eat whatever the heck they want, but I like to keep my blood glucose stable and I want to do that. So I'm sticking with a low carb, high fat meal for my, like, I don't want to add a ton of glucose to then put it in my stores to then go fasting and then just use up that glucose and then eat again. I want to tap into my stored fat. So, and also tap into the autophagy. So sometimes I'll have a glass of wine and that's cool. That's totally fine. I can do that. I can have 2 glasses if I want. The only thing holding me back from the alcohol is how it makes me feel afterwards. And I don't like feeling that way. So that's the only reason really you've seen on these days that I haven't been drinking. The one day that I did drink wine, I think it was the day that I didn't put it up here. I just didn't feel good at all. And I was like, why did I do this to myself? I was doing so great. Like, I felt so great. And then I had some wine with my meal and it was like, I feel like absolute trash. So I don't want to feel like trash. I want to feel good. So I want to keep going with this whole thing and I don't want anything to derail me. So I'm not saying I'm not drinking, because look, if we're having dinner, if we go out for a date night and I want to have a glass of wine, I'm going to have a glass of wine. If I go to a party and I want to have a glass of wine, I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm not going to be super strict, like say yes or no what I'm doing. I'm just going to follow. The main thing is that I follow my OMAD and I keep my 16-hour water fast every single day. That's the main thing. If I can do that, 16-hour water fast, OMAD, I will be absolutely golden. OMAD within a 4-hour window, boom. Like, boom, guys, boom. And if I can also keep any flavored beverages in my fasted time, assisted fast, that to 30 minutes for each thing, unstoppable, guys, unstoppable. I cannot wait for the results. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching this incredibly long video. Thanks for following along on Instagram. I'm so grateful for you guys. Love you all. I've been putting so much research into Instagram. If you've been following me there, you see I've got like all of these different like cutouts from books I'm reading and different articles in research and stuff. So definitely go follow me there. I think I will keep you on track. I will help you stay focused. And if you're brand new, beginner, and you want to get started with an assisted fast to help you build up to the water fast, I'll put the link in the description below and you can check that out, all the different products and supplements that I'm using within this fast. And I will see you guys later. Take care.